back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it's fucking 1 week to go till I leave for India again. 6 weeks in India. When I left India, it was this year. It was like in March. I honestly did not know when I was going to go back again. I had tears in my eyes. I was crying. I was like, I might never see this place again. That's fucking wild to think about because it was still like in the middle of COVID semi-hysteria. Yeah, when I got back in March, it was still fucking going. They'd just opened up Australia again. They'd lifted all the restrictions and they were just letting it rip. They were talking about mandatory vaccines for kids. India had just got Omicron and I was like, this might be the last time I see India for a long time. God knows what's going to happen. And honestly, that feels like fucking 10 lifetimes ago. It was like 8 months ago or 9 months ago. I've only been back in Australia 9 months. What the fuck? It's so fucking weird to think about. It feels like so long ago. But when you think about those 2 full years in lockdown and fucking fear and hysteria, you're like, what the fuck happened? What was that? And it's too complex to even fucking process, so you just bury it. You're like, oh, well, it was something happened. I'll think about it later. Like anything else that's hard, I'll just think about it later. But now, in 1 week, I will be in India again for 6 fucking weeks. I haven't even mentally prepared for it either. It's just me and the kids. My wife's not even coming. I arrive there on the 28th. I'm spending a night in Singapore. Like I get into Singapore at 10 p.m. and leave at 9 a.m. or something like that. I won't be able to do shit with the kids. So I get into India on the 28th. And then on the 30th, everyone's going to this place called Coorg. Koorg. It's like a coffee plantation type area. Wild pigs and that. I've been there before. And they're like, do you want to come? And I'm like, no, I don't want to go. So I'm just going to be in Bangalore by myself for 3 days. On the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. Just me by myself staring at a wall. Getting some good old-fashioned fucking wall staring back in. I am looking forward to that. I can't fucking believe I'm going back to India already. Oh my God. So that's in a week. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Obviously haven't got her anything. I was going to book a dinner cruise and then I ran it past her and she's like, what are we going to do with the kids? And then I was like, yeah, I can't be fucked with a dinner cruise either. Especially with those 2 little fuckers running around and shit. Fuck that. So I think I'm just going to take her where she took me for my birthday. That's the fucking trick. If you're stuck and you can't think of anything to get your wife for her birthday, just get her exactly the same thing as she got you. How can you get in trouble for that? If she's like, that's a thoughtless fucking present, just go, yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. That's what I fucking thought when you got it for me. And then if she's like, no, you just got the same thing, that's thoughtless. You haven't put any thought into that at all. And then you can just be like, no, I did. But what you got me was so amazing. It was so much better than anything I could have possibly thought of that I just thought, I'll get you the same thing. There's no way I could have matched the thought you put into taking me to a Brazilian buffet. So we're going to a Brazilian buffet tomorrow. I'm psyched. I'm starving myself today and tomorrow. When it was my birthday, I think I had lunch and having lunch was a big mistake. I had to tap out earlier than I hoped for my birthday and I'm not making that same mistake twice. I'm going hard tomorrow. I'm going real fucking hard. They're pretty fucking good though, the Brazilian buffets. They come out with all different sorts of meats. They're like the Argentinian fucking churrasco. I could never fucking pronounce the word, but you go to Argentina and you pay like $10 and you go to these restaurants and it's just fucking barbecue meat up to your eyeballs. I actually broke my tooth on some meat in Argentina. Like snapped it in half. That was another point where I realized things were starting to fall apart because I had got a root canal in that particular tooth, and I was meant to go back and get a cap put on it, but I never did. And the temporary filling they put in fell out. And so I used to eat, and it used to get stuck in the hole they'd drill up there. So I had that for like 3 years, and then it chipped off one day, like some of it chipped off. And then when I was eating at that Argentinian restaurant in Argentina, it fully fucking snapped off, and there was only a little tiny like nib left. So about 3 years later, I decided to get that root pulled out. I should have got it pulled out immediately, but I managed to survive it for another 3 years. And when I went to the dentist, the nib was so small that they couldn't get a grip on it. So they ended up having to fully saw into my jawbone. Good times. They were good times, they were. Good fucking times. Anyway, that will fucking do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. A listener told me today that he found me because he was listening to this Irish podcast, the General Banter podcast, and someone had sent in a message to that podcast saying something about my podcast, I'm Quitting Alcohol, and the cunt that was listening was hungover as shit, so he bounced over to my podcast and has been a fan ever since. So fucking cheers to whoever the Irish cunt was who sent the message into the General Banter podcast. Appreciate it. What are the rest of you cunts done for me lately though? Huh? Anyway, that'll do, and I'll see you the fuck later.